Hello everyone, I'm Barofi1322 and welcome to the recap video for the 9th round, the penultimate round of the Multi-Class Endurance Championship Season 3. This was held on Los Santos Grand Prix in Sedans. GT1 drivers were driving the Schafter V12 armoured version, GT2 drivers were in the Tailgater and GT3 drivers were in the Warrener. There was a 20% chance of rain for this race, but we did the draws beforehand and none of the races came up with that, so it was all completely dry. And as always, we'll go straight into the Xbox One race. And I imagine you've probably seen the highlights video for this race already. I managed to get my first win of the season. Obviously, I've had some wins on PC and GT3, but I haven't had a win on Xbox One in the GT1 class or on the PS4 in the GT2 class. So yeah, it was absolutely great to really get my first win of the season, and it was very unexpected as well. You know, I really wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to really go down the order, especially after that initial crash. The fact that I was on pole position, it helped me initially to get away from everybody, but then, you know, I choked as always. So it was difficult, and I really wasn't expecting it, and it was really nice because it took me back to a place where I used to be, able to sort of drive for, you know, after that initial crash, I just drove and I was driving in the lead. I had pressure for about 4 or 5 laps when Calavera caught me up, but I was able to sort of get over that and not succumb to that pressure. It just took me back to some of the performances that I used to do in Season 2, in, you know, when I was actually a bit better, and I think the end of my championships this season have been a lot better. It's been difficult, you know, getting used to the fatigue in some cases, changing cars every week. Certainly trying to do 3 different championships all at once has not helped me whatsoever, but it's been great to get that win. And I did say that I would just be happy to get one win on the Xbox One or the PS4 side, and I've done that now, and I'm really happy about that. Really big shame what happened to Calavera. He ended up hitting a pedestrian, missing a checkpoint, and losing a lot of time. I'll try to put some footage from Equation's perspective in here, and just to remind everybody that all of the footage that I use in these videos, all of the links to the people whose footage that I use is always in the description. But yeah, big shame that he crashed out like that, and then ended up actually battling with Crazy Man right to the end, and they were only separated at the line by 1 second, so it was very, very close between those. Crazy Man ultimately got that second place, but it was really helpful to me in terms of the championship. As we'll see, I didn't really consider myself a championship contender. Now there is a possibility that I could still win the GT1 championship on Xbox One. I'm not necessarily saying that I will, because, you know, I never know what's going to happen, but there is that possibility there now, and that's what that win gave me, so it was very important from that perspective. Now for the GT2 side, King Blaze got his second win in succession ahead of Blodia X5 again, so pretty much exactly the same result as round 8. And again, it's going to be very close between them in the championship. Those two are fighting it out. King Blaze had a very good race. You know, he was out front for the majority of the race, really. Blodia X5 was able to sort of stick to between 5 and 10 seconds behind, but then got caught up with lag, with lampposts being knocked over and stuff like that from laggy GT3 cars. So it was a bit of a shame from his perspective, but it's going to be a very close championship battle, as we'll see when I go over the championship. In third place for the race was Shippo. He came into the championship in round 8. He actually did round 6 in the GT3 battle, but he came into the championship in GT2 in round 8. He put in a good performance on Run Raceway, but ended up disconnecting. So good to see him get that podium position there. Now for GT3, Ducati Doctor got the win here. My teammate on the Ron team, so Ron Racing on the Xbox One, managed to get 2 victories this round, which is really great. In second place was Squillum93, and in third place was Wolfie Bigtail. Those are the 3 championship contenders, and they finished this race in the order that they are in the championship as well. Again, we'll see those championship positions in a short while, but yeah, again, a very interesting and close battle in GT3 on the Xbox One side, as it has been throughout the entire season, really. And it's good that we're having these different winners cropping up, but Ducati Doctor is definitely putting in some great performances nearer the end of the season, so it's all going to be on the line. When it comes to the championship, it's on a knife edge, really. All the championships on the Xbox One side are very, very close, and we don't know who's going to win any of them. So if there's any race that you should watch live, it's got to be this one. It'll be this Saturday, 7 p.m. That's when it will be starting. The Xbox One race is going to be the one to watch live if you want to know who wins the championship, because all of them are up for grabs. In GT1, the status is basically I can win the championship if I finish first or second. So if I finish first or second in the last race on the North Loop, I will win the championship. If I finish third or below, then it depends on other results. If I do finish third or below, then I need Calavera not to win the race. So the only way that I don't win the championship is if Calavera wins the race and I don't finish behind him. So that's the way that I don't win the GT1 championship. But Crazy Man is in there. Crazy Man is often one of the quickest on the North Loop. He's often one of the quickest on all tracks, to be honest. He gets the best lap times the majority of the time. So since the starting positions for the final round are in championship order, us three will be starting in the top 3 positions on the grid. It's going to be intense. It's going to be crazy. It's very possible that Calavera will end up winning the race and taking the championship off me right at the very end. But the way that I'm looking at it, the way that I'm going to it is just do what you can. You know, you've done the best that you can throughout the season. Go in there, have the race that you can do. If it's good enough, it's good enough. If it's not good enough, then it won't be good enough. And it is what it is. I've got my win. I got the win that I wanted in this round 9. So anything else is just a bonus at this point. But it's going to be very, very close in GT1. Similar story in GT2. It's going to be very, very close. We've got Blodia X5 in the lead on 89 points. We've got King Blaze in second on 81 points. But King Blaze has been taking the victories at this point. So it's very possible that he will take another victory. That would give him an extra 13 points on top of what he's got already. Then it all depends on what Blodia X5 does. If Blodia X5 wins the race, he obviously wins the title. But we just, it's going to be very, very close. Blodia X5, I think, looking at it very quickly right now, if the results in the final round are exactly the same as what they've been in the last 2 rounds, if King Blaze wins the race, Blodia X5 finishes in second, then King Blaze would win the championship and go overhaul him. So it's going to be very, very interesting, and it's going to be a tight battle to see how that happens. Trumpet Master has secured 3rd place. Nobody can beat him for that 3rd position, and he can't get into 2nd or 1st, so he's secured in that position on GT2. Now for GT3, as you can see on the points, this is even closer. Ducati Doctor is in the lead on 89 points, Squillum93 is in 2nd place on 88 points, and Wolfie Bigtail is in 3rd place on 83 points. Unbelievable that after 9 rounds, 7 of which count in terms of points, they're separated by 6 points. It's unbelievable. So any one of those 3 can win the title. I'm not going to go into all of the different permutations. Basically, all 3 of them need to just go out there and try to win the race, and then it'll just depend on what the others do and how many points the others can get. So it's going to be very, very close and very interesting. And as I say, the Xbox One side is the only side where all the championship battles are still up for grabs. Now, moving on to the PC side. So, with PC, Doom Penguin is the championship leader at the moment, but he isn't here for rounds 9 and 10. He's not able to attend. He's already got a very good haul of points, which means the only person who can beat him in the championship is Super Stepper. So Super Stepper had to go out there this round and win the race. Basically, Super Stepper has to win the next 2 races, and that's exactly what he did. He got the 15 points for the win here. He was in, I think, 3rd place when they all passed me the first time. I was obviously racing in GT3. We had Cloud McShort in the lead, and O'Dan was fighting for the lead as well. But Super Stepper managed to catch up to them, overtake them, and came out as a winner. So he got the 15 points that he needed. O'Dan ended up getting the points for 2nd place, with Cloud McShort getting the points for 3rd after a penalty to Vivo. But those 3 all finished very, very close in the in the standings, and then they were separated by I think 5 seconds at the end, so it was a very, very close and intense battle between all of those. So well done to everybody for those drives there in PC GT1. In GT2, Mountain Man ended up getting the win here ahead of Machiski. Unsure what happened to Machiski in this one, because he had a massive lead, and it's been very weird this round, I would say, because we've seen people have very large leads in various different classes, and this will be very true of the PS4 side as well, as we'll go on to, but people having very large leads and giving them away, and that's what happened here with Machiski. I don't know what happened to him, whether he got caught up in traffic or just made mistakes. He had a big lead. Mountain Man was miles behind even Sugar-Free Nos, who was in second place at the time. And ultimately, it was a big shock to me at the end of the race when Mountain Man came home and as the winner. But he obviously put in a great performance and got the win there, got the victory. And in third place we had Benimi. So Benimi came back through the pack and got on that last podium position, with Sugar-Free Nos putting in a good performance for fourth place, which he hasn't had since round 5. So yeah, very good performances there, and good racing, good racing across the field of GT2. It's very close in the championship for second place. In GT3, John was a massive winner here. He got the full 15 points for a big win here, and he pretty much got the win that he deserved from round 4, which was also on Los Santos Grand Prix. He was a big leader in the Prairie because I didn't have the turbo on, and he disconnected in that round after having a big lead. This time he didn't disconnect. He got a big lead from the start. I was on his pace by the end of the race, but I just, there were far too many incidents and accidents, and me just generally being fatigued and tired like I always am on the PC race, for me to be able to catch up to him or do anything like that. So it would have been interesting to have a bit of a battle with him, but ultimately he was able to get a huge win there. I came home in second place after a good battle with Brad Staff throughout the majority of the race. I would, catch up to him, get past him, and then make a couple of mistakes or go in the pits, be back behind him again. You probably saw the PC highlights video. But yeah, it was a good battle, and it was fun. It was more fun than some of the other PC races we've done, because there was at least someone there to fight. And Brad Staff obviously came home in third place by the end there, so good performance from him. In terms of the championship, I've already gone over this before. Doom Penguin isn't here, so all Super Stepper has to do is win the final round. If Super Stepper can win the last round on the North Loop, he wins the GT1 championship on PC. If he doesn't, if he comes second or third or fourth or anything other than a win, Doom Penguin will win the championship. There is still a battle for third place between Fab Iceman and Avivo. That's not necessarily settled, and if Super Stepper has a very bad race, Avivo could then jump into second place. But yeah, it's the PC GT1 championship is still on the line, and Doom Penguin isn't there to take points off Super Stepper. That's the problem, because he's not here for the final 2 rounds. He doesn't have that ability to take points off Super Stepper, and Super Stepper will be starting on pole position for that race. So it's going to be tight, and it will be interesting to see what happens. In terms of the championship on GT2 and GT3, that we've already had the winners decided there with Machiski and myself. But for GT2, there is an interesting battle going on for second place. You've got Mountain Man in 65 points. He's probably going to finish in second, because he doesn't really need to add many more points to that to secure that. But there is going to be a 4-way battle for third place between the Bad Loser, Chill, Blah and Sugar-Free Nos on 54, 52, 52 and 51 points respectively. So very, very close in that GT2 battle for the final spots on the championship table. And in GT3, it's going to be interesting to see who manages to get the final points between Thronebreaker and John. One of those is going to finish in second place, the other one's going to finish in third. It's going to be tight between those. Obviously, I would like to try to finish off the season with a win, but and if I did get that win, I think I would be able to get over 100 points. I would like to do that as well, but it doesn't really matter too much. In terms of the championship, it's up to Thronebreaker and John to fight it out for that second place, and I'm sure both of them will be wanting to go out with a bang and get that win in the final round. So again, that will be happening straight after the Xbox One race, so it's certainly worth sticking around for. and watching how the championship unfolds there. Now we'll move on to the PS4 side. Oh, just to point out before we move on to the PS4 side, in terms of the Teams Championship on PC, LSDWP have already won the Teams Championship. They have enough points that nobody can catch them at this point. That is the team consisting of Avivo in GT1, Michiski in GT2 and John in GT3. They've now secured the Teams Championship, so well done to them. Going back to the Xbox One Teams Championship, Press of X look like they're going to be taking that home this time as well, but Vanilla Unicorns are only 24 points behind with 45 available, so it is still technically mathematically up for grabs. So the PS4 side. Now, GT1 on the PS4 side was ridiculous. I don't know what happened to Smithy. I've tried to, find the bits of footage as I'm I'm recording this without any footage in front of me, but I'm going to try to find the bits of footage that show exactly what happened. Obviously, I normally show the starts of the races as well, but Smithy got off into a really, really big lead, and for a long time it looked like he was just going to win the race outright and it wasn't going to be a problem. Obviously, he started on pole position like I did. The Ron team all started on pole position for this race. Picano and El Mister were having a really good battle for second and third all the way through the race, but it looked like for all intents and purposes it was Smithy's to lose, and unbelievably he ended up losing it, and the top three switched positions. El Mister kept the second place, Picano overtook both of them and ended up winning the race, and Smithy ended up in third. And I think seeing that affected me as well for the GT2 race, because I completely lost my concentration as well. Basically, myself and Smithy had very, very similar races. Obviously, we're teammates. We wanted to do very, very well for the Ron Racing team, to get our team to win that title that Ron have never had. We wanted to beat the Rich's Majestic team, and we were doing that, for a long time in the race. I had a massive lead in GT2 at the same time that Smithy had a massive lead in GT1. It was looking very good, but ultimately we both messed it up, and I crashed all the time, as you saw in the highlights video. Smithy lost the lead that he had in GT1, and we ended up losing points in the team's championship. Obviously, in the GT2 battle, Abe Gunners ended up getting the victory there, and Jay Santos even got past me as well in the final lap, because of the sheer damage that was on my car, just making it very, very difficult to control. And it was a huge disappointment for me and Smithy, because we both ended up in third place in our classes after having big leads. So yeah, a bit of a nightmare for both of us there. In GT3, 40 got a win here. He wasn't in the lead for a lot of the time. It was an interesting battle between I'm Awesome and Lucas for a lot of the race. They were in first and second and battling it out, but 40 ended up overhauling those after mistakes and whatnot, and he got another win for the season. Horse Demo got his first podium of the season after coming into the championship in round 7, and he got second place. He's also for the Ron Racing team, so he put in a great performance there. Just a shame that we actually lost 3 points to 40, who's on the Rich's Majestic team. The team's championship is quite interesting for PS4. I will go on about that in a little bit, but yeah, good performance from him. And I'm Awesome ended up finishing in third place to get some 10 points. It's tight in the team's championship, and it wasn't a very good round for us. Had myself and Smithy been able to keep those wins, if we'd been able to hold on for the last 10 minutes, it would be a lot better for us in the team's championship than what it is at the minute. But first of all, we'll go over the drivers' championships. In GT1, it's very, very close. It's up for grabs. And the GT1 battle on all platforms is not decided yet. So it doesn't matter what platform it is, the GT1 side for each platform, it's still going to be up for grabs, and anybody could win out of obviously the guys who are going for it. None of them are decided at this point. Smithy is in the lead of GT1 on the PS4 with 92 points. Picano is in second place with 89 points. It's going to be close. It's going to be interesting, because obviously on the North Loop, Picano is very quick. but they will start the race in first and second place on the grid. Smithy will start in pole position, Picano will start second. Macy, who has secured that third place in GT1, he can't get into second, and he can't drop down to fourth, so he's done a very good season there to get that third place. He will start in third place in the race, but I imagine that it's just going to be a race-long battle between Smithy and Picano. We know how quick both of them are, Picano especially around the North Loop. And yeah, there's all sorts of permutations based on who wins and who comes second, or even if people have worse results than that. They're going to be nervous, I expect, because it's very tight, and they're going to be battling one-on-one pretty much, I would imagine. So yeah, very interesting there with GT1. That obviously the PS4 race is on Sunday, so keep an eye out for that. GT2, Abe Gunners with that win has managed to secure the title. He would have secured the title had the race finished with me in the lead and him in second. It wouldn't have made a difference, but he obviously got that win from my capitulation, and he secured the title with a good points haul of 93 points there. And obviously, as I mentioned in GT3, 40 has already secured that. There are interesting battles for second place in GT2. I can still get ahead of Tomtad for second place there, and in GT3. The battle for second place is going to be very interesting there too, with John T, I'm Awesome, and Drubert all going for that. So yeah, it's there are still championship battles all the way through, and that is no more true than the PS4 Teams Championship. Richards Majestic did manage to outscore Ron in that last round by about 10 points it was, because of the capitulation of me and Smithy. You know, we had it in the bag and we would have outscored them and took back the lead of the Teams Championship, but unfortunately we messed it up, as you saw and as I've been mentioning. So at the moment, Richards Majestic, which consists of El Mister in GT1, Abe Gunners in GT2 and 40 in GT3. Basically, Abe Gunners and 40 have been doing the job all the way through the season for that team. El Mister has stepped up his game for the last couple of rounds, but they are the two championship winners in GT2 and GT3, so that's why they're up there. And then you've got they are currently 14 points ahead of Ron, which is my team, consisting of Smithy in GT1, myself in GT2, and Horst Demo, who replaced Futuro in GT3. Those are going to be the battles that you want to look out for, because we're going to have to outscore them by 14 points, which is a lot. You know, that is a lot to do in one round. I don't even know whether that's going to be possible. We'll see, but I'm pretty sure we haven't outscored them by that many at any point throughout the season. I think the most has been the about 12 points or something like that. So it's going to be very, very difficult to try and outscore them by so many points, especially, you know, now that El Mister has stepped up his game a little bit more. And Abe Gunners and 40 will no doubt be up there, as they have been throughout the season, carrying the team. So I mean, that round, I think that ninth round has really lost the team's championship for Ron, and we're probably going to end up in second, you know, second place for life. It doesn't matter whether it's just myself in individual races or in whatever team I'm in, it's always a second place. But at least I managed to get a win on the Xbox One, and we'll see what happens in the championship there as well. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to check out the live races this weekend. Obviously Saturday at 7 PM, Sunday at 8 PM. I will be streaming them. I do always put up a video, but the live stream information is down below in the description. Twitch.tv/Bruffy1322 to watch the culmination of the championship and see all these championship battles get sorted. So thank you guys for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the championship, and yeah, I'll see you next time.